Hey everyone, you designers are here.
I'm Anita at Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at My Soulful Home. And we've got tips and tricks and decorating advice for you today. So let's get started.
Today is episode 207, Know Your Decorating Style and Why It's Important.
The show notes for today's episode can be found at decoratingtipsandtricks.com/207.
All right. This is something that, girls, that we really need to know. We need to know our decorating style, and there's many important reasons why. And today we're going to be talking about all of those. Let's start with, let's say, Anita. Anita, what would you say your decorating style is?
Well, I call it farmhouse French, or sometimes I refer to it as an updated country French look. So I think either one means the same thing to me.
Mm-hmm. So, obviously you would find French-inspired furniture in your home?
Yes. There's very much an emphasis on French furniture, obviously, and farmhouse or more rustic things. So it's a casual view of country French, but also there are traditional country French fabrics that I don't actually use. So I have kind of an updated view of fabrics and use of fabrics in my style.
Okay. How about you, Kelly? Now somebody would say, tell us in like 50 words or less what your decorating style is. I'm giving you 50.
Anything. I can't say yes in 50 words or less. So, that's so funny. That makes me laugh. Were you trying to hone me in? Well, I used to get paid by the word, ladies. So
this is true.
Yeah. I would call it, if I had to, and that time you guys pinned me down and tied me up and made me say, it would be sort of a farmhouse glammy thing going on. But of course, most people that listen know my house is a Victorian. It's a folk Victorian, so it's definitely tends to the farmhouse. It's a simplified Victorian. And what I like to do is infuse it with antiques and things that would be somewhat period, but sort of with a twist, but also some glammy accessories and lighting in particular. And I'm actually getting a little bit, I wouldn't call it modern, but I'm getting a little slicker in some of the accessories that I'm picking out.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think you've already made a point that I just want to add here is that even when you decide your decorating style, it's a fluid thing. And it's going to be evolving and changing. So I think just because you've defined your decorating style doesn't mean you're locked in and whatever you like right now can never change.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
No, because I think we all like to mix it up a little bit. Nobody is just, one set style where we won't deviate from that. But because we like the juxtaposition of different looks together and how they play off each other and they make them each other better for being in the same room together. But there definitely is, a sort of a focus, which is really what we want to talk about today is if you can start to hone and develop and then know your style and be comfortable with it, you can really do a better job in all aspects of decorating, whether it be from shopping to actually placing the things in your room.
Mm-hmm. I so agree with that. And I would call my style refined country. It has mostly updated classic furniture in it, with a little bit of farmhouse around the edges, just a little bit of rustic. I like that juxtaposition, but it's definitely a little more refined than what you would think of as, farmhouse or country. But I agree with both of you. I don't think I know one person that has primarily one style of all my friends. Everybody's is a mix because I think that brings in your personality. But this is why it's so important to know your decorating style so you can name it, okay? Kelly, you like, I love that farmhouse, sort of that, it's a West Coast farmhouse meets glam. And so you're not going to be looking you might love a mid-century piece, but you're probably not going to put it in your house.
No
matter how much you love it. And although you love French and farmhouse, you're not going to look at something that's pretty classic. Like you wouldn't put my sofa in your house, Anita, even though you love my sofa.
Mm-hmm. Well, right. I mean, but I also think about the bohemian style. I love a very colorful bohemian look, but it's not going to work in my home. So I think what you're saying is, I mean, it really is important to know your style, because you may like a lot of different styles, but if you try to throw them all together in one room, it may not work. The more styles you put in one room, the more talented you have to be to pull it off. I'll put it that way.
I think you're right about that.
Right. So either people sort of, just buy things that they are drawn to and they bring them and they don't work together. Or I find the majority of people get stuck. And so they're unsure. And then they do like two things that are sort of divergent. So they don't buy either of them. And so they just stay with what they have because they don't really know what their style is.
And they can't make a decision.
Make a decision. Here's another problem people have is that they just try to buy things that go with what their house looks like now. And that's great if you like the way your house looks now. But if you really don't, then you're not going to be able to change, because everything you buy goes with what you already have. I mean, sometimes it's really better. And actually, when you're choosing your style, I think it's better not to look at your house, but to go look at other houses. Go look at Pinterest, go look in magazines, books, at home tours, and kind of hone in on what you like and not be nailed down by what's actually in your home. Because
I so agree.
I mean, that's happened to me a couple of times where I realized that my house looked nothing like the direction I really wanted it to go in.
Well, remember I was telling you a few weeks ago, and I don't remember what episode that was in, but that I just wanted to get some things on the laundry room shelves because I was so excited that the room was done. Mm-hmm. And I came up to the attic and I just defaulted to sort of I didn't use much red, but the greens and so the garden books and things like that. And I brought it all down, and it looks so pretty, you guys. If I took pictures of it, people would be like, that looks so nice. Like their items are so pretty. But they're not where I want to be right now. So I defaulted to my own former look from my former house
because you had the stuff.
Comfortable. Yeah, it was like putting it all on an old pair of slippers. You're like, oh yeah, I get this, And then I stood back and I thought, yeah, that looks great. And I actually felt really good about it. And I was like, I'm so glad I did that. And I came back out to put the stinking laundry in the silly dryer. And there I was. And I'm looking at the shelves again. And I'm like, I don't want this anymore.
Well, and I think you're excellent. You are making an excellent point. And I remember I used to buy things because they were the right color. And I would think, well, I don't really like this, but I mean, it looks okay, but it goes with the color scheme in my room. So I'm going to buy it. Well, then later on, I didn't really care about it. And so I just wanted to get rid of it. So guess what? I wasted whatever money I spent on it was thrown out the window. So another reason you really want to know what your decorating style is and what you truly love is that when you know that and you buy things specific to your style that you adore and love, the chances are very likely that you will love it for a long time and it will not be a waste of money. But if you're kind of willy-nilly and grabbing things and just pulling here and there, you're going to end up wasting, I think, a lot of money.
And, here's another thing. If you like to decorate, you probably love a lot of different things. And, I absolutely love red, but I don't have any red in my house. I used to. And I have a couple things that I've saved. Will I ever use it? I might use a red carpet, but other than that, probably not. Because you can love a lot of things as a decorating enthusiast, but they all don't need to be a part of your home.
I think we need to take all our red things together and just donate them and have like a red room. I think we've got to make like a whole
I think
red
there
house.
Is someplace with a red room. Remember that? The shiny.
Well, and I had a friend.
Oh,
my friend Peggy had some red things, and so I was getting rid of red things. I started giving her all my red things. Well, at some point, so I just kind of assumed that's what she liked because she had red in her house. Well, at some point, she said to me, I don't like red anymore. And I felt so badly because I'd been giving her all
and a little bit
gosh.
of red can go a long way. I'm going to give you 4 words today to think about.
Get your pens.
Why it's important to know your decorating style. And we're going to go maybe quickly through some of the styles, but We also have an episode, a very in-depth episode on how to know your decorating style. This is why it's so important. And one is because you want to be able to curate a look. And that's what we're talking about. Not putting just everything in there, not having all the greens that Kelly had, that was really not her look, but she put them in there because they were pretty and she wanted to shop her house and she wanted something up. But what we're talking about is putting things that you have carefully chosen that work well with the style you either like that you have now or the style that you're trying to achieve. So with everything you put in your home, you should say, do I love it? Is this part of my decorating story? And it must look curated, like it's purposely chosen to be put in your house.
Yeah, I think that's such a good way to think about it and so well put. If you're able to do this, and I think what Anita said is absolutely the way to start, is don't look within unless there's one particular item or something that you say, oh, okay, this, I really want to start building around this. But more than likely, if you're not sure about your style and you have a sort of a hodgepodge of different things, maybe just create your own private secret Pinterest board. And if you don't know how to make it secret, it's real easy to do that. You just toggle over, and when you create the board, you just say that it's supposed to be secret. You check it, yes, and then it's all yours and nobody's going to see it. And then you could start pinning things that you're attracted to. And what I did when I was decorating and designing and making some really important choices for this house, important in that they were going to cost me a lot of money. And if I wasn't sure and I thought I was like maybe doing something on the fly, I would just stop. I would either pull up my Pinterest board on my phone, or I would wait till the next day and I would go home and I would sit down and I would literally take like a half hour or 45 minutes and I would look through all the pictures, and it kind of would ground me back to where I wanted to go with the look, rather than just sort of willy-nilly like, oh yeah, well that's, a little bit
That'll
less expensive.
work maybe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if I pick that, I could kind of make it work, but the board really helped me to stay focused. And I think at the end of the day, save money, because you, like what Anita's saying, if you pick something and you end up really not liking it, maybe in a year or two, you're going to want to get rid of it and do it over.
And you can take that just a little bit further. If you really are serious about redoing a room, let's say, or even if you have a few pieces that you're keeping or whatever, make a mood board, design a board. I just do it on PicMonkey, and I just do a blank piece, and I look through all different like Wayfair and Joss and Main and Pottery Barn and Fun's Kings Lane, all kinds of places to try to find
decorating tips and trick shop.
Oh, absolutely. And I try to pick out things from there, and they don't have to be the exact thing, but you can, as you build, let's say what I was doing in my master bedroom, I found the headboard I had gotten. And then I didn't buy the piece, the dresser, but the dresser looks very much like the piece in my mood board. So I knew what I was looking for. I picked out the colors. I put pillows on the pretend bed, and just made it look as much realistic as I could.
Yeah. And I think too, when you start putting these Pinterest boards together, you may go, I like 15 different styles. But when you start when you start saying, okay, what's my very favorite look? Most people begin to realize that they're gravitating toward one particular style. And that's when you're going to have your aha moment and go, you know what? I keep getting drawn to this particular look. And if you can name it, you're there, you're golden. That's the hardest part. And when I started doing this with the Pinterest and looking at magazines and looking in books, at some point, I realized, what do all of these have in common? Well, they were all French. And I loved things that weren't French, but I realized that the rooms that really spoke to me were French. And so that's when you're going to realize, aha, this is it. This is my look. And that's when I decided that's the way I'm going to go. And I've kind of made it my own. I don't really copy one particular person. And that's great for you too. Once you find your particular style, you're going to put your spin on it, because it may be that a particular style is done in specific colors and you may like different colors, or you may want to mix it with something that it's not normally done with. I think that's the beauty of it, is finding what you like and then making it your own.
Well, here's the second word, and it goes along with this. So we have curate. The second word is cohesive. They're all C words. I thought I'd make it easy that way. And you want a home that looks unified. You know, you're just like what you were saying, you're going to make a Pinterest board, you're going to make maybe a mood board, and you want to pull out those things that you like. And Anita, you thought, aha, I love all French things. You're not going to go, aha, I love French things, but boy, do I love that mid-century modern bureau over there, because that is such an outlier. You're going to take your outliers out, and you're going to keep the things that look cohesive and beautiful together, the things that you gravitate to all the time. So you're going to think of the word cohesive when you're thinking about what style do you gravitate towards, what style do you want in your home.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef, because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. So you may have one really strong thread, one look that you're really drawn to, and then you might have a few subs, but I don't think you can have more than 2 or 3. You have one, and then you have a couple that might support it, where the juxtaposition of the looks is great, but it's not so far flung, and it's not just one piece that is in that really different style.
Mm-hmm. And I think juxtaposition is a great word, because I think
we do love that word.
Yes, I do. It's one of our favorite DTT words. But I think that if you have a style, having something that's a little different, like if my style's very classic, if left to my own hand, I could get pretty formal. And I don't want to live in that kind of a house. So for me, the juxtaposition is upscale farmhouse. I'm not too into the super chippy, crusty, rusty things or whatever you call it, Anita. But I really like some corbels that aren't too crazy rusty and crusty and chippy. And I like some farm signs and some little touches that actually take my elevated style and makes it more approachable and comfortable. Well, and I think that's really
interesting
important.
You say that, because I love to take very formal French chairs, Louis the 15th, Louis the 16th chairs, take off the heavy tapestry, original fabric, usually it's pretty worn anyway, and put something very, very everyday, very rustic, very peasant, from the days when you would have never used a rough hewn linen put on there. And I use things like grain sacks. And, the original owners of these chairs would have gone through the ceiling if they had seen me put such a humble fabric on a chair. But that to me brings it into the today. That's, I think that is the part of it. You mix the casual with the formal. And once you put a very rustic fabric on a French chair, to me, it makes it look like it works today. And it takes away a lot of that formality and that don't touch feel.
And Anita, that's such a fresh look.
You know who did that? Sister Parrish.
Yes, she did.
Famous for that. Mm-hmm. And so there you go. In really good company there, Nita Jean. Excellent decorating company. Another thing I think you should take into consideration when you're choosing your style is the architecture of your house and the geographic placement of your home. So if you're living in a place where it's, very wintry and your house is, a brick house and it's more of a center hole colonial style, you probably don't want to decorate it in a real beach house look with, straw hats and, welcome to the beach and, kick your flip-flops off here signs and things like that. So, some people just want a certain look, but I think it really has to work with where you are and what your house is about architecturally as well.
I mean, that I agree with that to some extent, but I don't think you have to necessarily be super locked into that. For example, that's interesting you talk about that, because we do have a house in the mountains of North Carolina. We rent it out as a vacation rental. It was done at a time, we bought it was already built, but it's very simply done on the inside. There's no particular style. It really needs a character added. But I had that thought, do I add this kind of mountain feeling to it because it's in the mountains and that's a very distinct look, lots of rock and also craftsman style is very common there. Or do I kind of take it more kind of a rustic, maybe French countryside look? And so I don't know. I'm thinking about doing some beams inside that could go either way.
Oh, yeah. No, but what you'll do is really, really wonderful. And I certainly am not suggesting that anybody, if they have a mountain house, should have, everything should have a bear on it.
Like a bear. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm avoiding the bear thing.
Yeah, or those like sort of Navajo things going on. No. But you shouldn't try to make your house something.
Look like it's at the beach?
It's really not. Yeah, exactly.
It's not at the beach.
And it's not at the beach.
I tend to agree with you, Kelly, because that's one of my little secret pet peeves that I really like.
Secret no more.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think that's
now it's out.
For me, we could have built all kinds of houses, and I had like 3 or 4 designs that I loved when we built Stone Gable. But we're out among farmland, and to put a manor house type house here would just look out of place. And so we built something that looked like it belonged to the land, so we built a farmhouse inspired home. And that's why I thought, oh gosh, that's why I have farmhouse things in it. And that's why I use classical furniture, because I think the inside of my house matches my house, which matches what's going on around my house. So,
yeah,
but that doesn't mean
you need to keep that in mind.
Yes, I think you do. And I I do have in the summertime maybe 2 bowls of shells in my whole house because the beach is about 3 hours from us. So, but that's as far as I'll go. But I do know that there are people whose bathrooms, for some reason, bathrooms tend to be beachy. I mean, that's a real blast from the past, but
that's so funny.
But I agree with you. And here's another thing when you're thinking about your style. You should really be editing and editing and editing your style, controlling your clutter, controlling your mess, so that it doesn't distract you from the beauty of the style that you have. And that's another C word, and that's control. And I want you to think of like controlling your style. Don't get too crazy with it. Don't get too cluttered with it. And just in your everyday,
a lot of C's there.
There you go.
You're going crazy with them.
Mm-hmm.
I got another one for you. How about cleaning? Once you found out your style and you've done all these other wonderful things, you're coordinated and curated, and you're going to have to remind me of all the C words. Yeah, and you've been cohesive. Then you're going to have to clean it. And then you are going to want to be a part of the Grove Collaborative. The Grove Collaborative makes it easy to discover amazing natural home and personal care products that are good for you and smell great. And the Grove Collaborative also saves people time and money. You don't have to be searching for the products that you'd like to use. They come right to your doorway. And then you don't also end up at Target where you're spending, $300 for things you didn't really need because you went in to get some cleanser, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Grove Collaborative makes it super easy to switch over to non-toxic products. They also offer a wonderful flagship brand of their own. They have their own Grove brand products, and they create those from the ground up. And they have a terrific membership program that also has amazing personal service and unlimited free shipping. And we have a wonderful and amazing gift for you from the people at the Grove Collaborative. You are going to head over to thegrove.co, not com, .co, and put in the word decorating. So grove.co/decorating for a $30 Miss Myers gift, and plus some bonus gifts, which are really great, and a 2-month VIP membership to the Grove Collaborative. And it's super easy, and I think you'll enjoy checking out all the products they have. I just got an email today where they have some additional new products, so they're always coming out with new things for you to check out, products you might not be able to get in your area or products you may not have discovered yet. And they back everything with 100% happiness guarantee. So here's to making a happier, healthier, and better smelling home with the Grove Collaborative.
Okay.
Wonderful.
So now that we've curated our home, and you've done that through mood boards and Pinterest and things like that, you have found a style that you love, and you've maybe found a couple styles that would work. Then you want to continue that through your house or your room and have it be cohesive. You don't want any outliers. You want to look what you have and edit everything, and make sure that nothing looks cluttered in your house. And then this will allow you to make really good decisions of what you're going to put into your room, and you can do it with confidence. So you have curate, cohesive, control, and confidence. And that's where I think most people get stuck. They may like a style, but they're not sure. They have too many things going on. It doesn't look cohesive. They are not in control of what's going on in their home, and they don't have the confidence to move forward because they're stuck. And there's so many decorating decisions that you can make that you get afraid because you've made past bad decisions. But if you've done all this work that we're talking about to find your decorating style, that'll give you the confidence I'll use Anita's oh gosh, that candelabra is just so beautiful. That would look great on my dining room table with my French chairs and my pretty little French skirts, chair skirts on them. But if she saw something like, oh, I just love those mercury glass candles, they won't work. They're pretty, but she has the confidence not to make a bad choice. She'll make a good choice.
I guess now I'm running to throw away my mercury glass candlesticks now.
Oh, Anita. I'm sure yours are beautiful, though.
I'm teasing you.
Okay. Hey,
it gives you focus. It really helps give you focus and ultimately, as Yvonne's saying, confidence. And that's really what you need to be a happy decorator. And doing all this, at the end of the day, the thing that's important is that you're happy in your home. And so if you do some of this quote unquote work, which is really fun, I think it's not really work, right?
Yes,
I mean, it's hard sometimes and you have to make tough decisions, especially when you have to get rid of things that don't work that you already have. And that I know is always harder for me to get rid of things than to make a choice to buy something new. So when you do all of that, you are just going to be much happier in your home because it's going to be reflective of you and you're going to have built it up. And I don't mean necessarily, with wood and bricks. I mean, built up the look to the point where when you walk through the door, this home feels like you, and there's so much of your personality is infused in it that you have that aha moment.
Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy-to-reach goal is to add dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT.
You want is when you go into a room, you want it to make you smile. Like, this feels like home to me. So you're so right. But, we have something that has been taking the guesswork out of creating a beautiful home for you. And I'm talking about our decorating tips and tricks shop. And we want to thank you so much for visiting us our very first week. And
it's been so exciting.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And for loving our products as much as we do. We were just overwhelmed by the wonderful response. But if you go on today, I have curated a little collection for you, and it's called the Spa Collection. And I'm going to be doing more things in that same fabric coming up, so stay tuned. But
it's
today,
gorgeous fabric. It is gorgeous.
The fabric's amazing. The feel of it, it's a I would call it a washable linen. They're just exquisite. I have a double-sided placemat. One side is done in this beautiful floral-ish, stylized floral, big floral print in this very delicate aquas and browns and taupes and ivories. And then you flip the placemat over and it's a taupe and white stripe that has a little bit of a nub to it. So I love it because I'm such a fan of reversible placemats. And the next thing
I think you could do some fun things with turning, if you had 4 or 6, turn some one way and some the other way. I think
that's fun too.
That is one of my biggest tablescaping secrets, is to mix things up a little bit within your table. It's so much more interesting. And then I have gorgeous 22-inch napkins coming out in that spa print. And also cocktail napkins that, you can, instead of giving somebody a coaster, it is so chic to have a little cocktail napkin. They're a small square, but they have your monogram on it.
And what a great hostess gift, because there's so many events coming up in the summer, right? Okay, I didn't know that was going to have a monogram on it. Okay, I have to have those too.
I know, and they are so adorable. I love handing somebody a drink with a cocktail napkin. You're
the snazziest lady.
It's classy. I think it's very classy.
I know, and then you just pop them in the washing machine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very green. See, you're not throwing stuff away.
That's exactly right. And also there'll be some other things coming out, pillows and things in that collection, in that print as well. So if you stay tuned.
Or this today?
Pardon me?
Later or today?
No.
Later.
Yes. Very soon, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we love that. And we told you all that. And I hope you heard the episode that we talked about our shop and why we're doing it. But yeah, that's really the driving premise behind the shop, that we are going to be creating these things that will coordinate with other things. So if you purchase something, then down the line, you can get other things to go with it. So you don't have to keep buying, whole sets of new things.
And thinking, will that go with that? We have designed it so things go together.
Shop.decoratingtipsandtricks.com. That's where you go to shop. That's where you sign up for the email, so you get a notification of every sale that we have.
Right. And if you buy something this week, so if it was the Monday, Wednesday, or Friday sale, and when you get it, take a photo of it, post it on your social media, whether it be Facebook or Instagram, tag us, and use the hashtag, the number sign, decorating tips and tricks, and we'll see it. And we're going to enter you to win a set of lavender sachets that are fabo. Now, I know, as I mentioned, Mrs. Pratt is such a snazzy lady. We have another fabulous snazzy lady who's a frequent listener, loyal listener. That's our friend Sandra. And Sandra sent us a really great tip. And so Sandra is tip of the day today. Sandra says she brings the paint chip card with her when she's going to core shopping, and that it helps tremendously when she's trying to choose things for a room, because it gives her the hues and the tonalities that might go with her paint color, rather than just, holding that in her head or, having a picture of the room or something. So she actually takes the card with her, not just to go, paint comparison shopping, but to go decor shopping. And I think that's a wonderful idea. You could just tuck those in your wallet, and then when you're shopping out, just pull it out and have a look and hold it up next to, the throw or whatever that you wanted to get.
Very smart. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a great tip. I love that one.
I know. We're going to have to make a tips book, I think. I got a lot of tips floating around. Okay. Today was so much fun. Such a great day. And anybody have anything else they want to add about their?
I have tons and tons, but let's just do another podcast episode.
Okay. I think we gave a lot of information today. I hope everybody wrote down the list of C words that you need to know.
Well, it's been great hanging out with both of you there. And thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.